because you know I'm all about that bass, no trouble. I'm all about that bass, We gonna let it burn, burn, burn. We gonna let it burn. But I'm a creep. I'm
I mean, that is just some of the terrific musicians from PostModern Jukebox, and the creator is Scott Bradlee. How you doing?
Hey, really good, Steve. Great to be here.
Tell folks we're looking at. This is PostModern Jukebox. This is, you said 50 different performers, musicians, artists.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a community of artists. The whole idea is I wanted to kind of create this universe, this alternate universe where today's pop music, the biggest hits of today, existed many years ago, back in the days of vinyl record, back in the days of the Rat Pack and the swing era, New Orleans and Motown and all those great, classic genres of music. So I have this incredible community of artists that I've kind of assembled to bring all these songs to life and these arrangements to life.
When did it happen?
It started in my basement. So I was living in a basement apartment. I moved to New York City when I was about 25 years old.
You a Jersey guy?
I grew up in Jersey. I grew up in Clinton.
So you admit that?
Yeah, right?
Route 78.
Yeah, I got the spray tan and the tribal tattoos. So
hey, don't be doing stereotypical Jersey stuff. But so you moved to New York, you got the thing going, you're in your basement.
Yeah.
And where does YouTube come into this?
So I couldn't get any work. I was a jazz pianist, and city was saturated with jazz pianists. So I decided to try to do something different. I went on YouTube, and I started just coming up with these crazy ideas of taking pop songs and making them how they would sound vintage. So people would hear like a Justin Bieber song, and then just imagine what would that song sound like in the 20s. And I would invite my friends over. I had other musician friends, and we'd come, and I just set up, using like duct tape and everything. It was really lo-fi. I just had a camera on like a tripod, and we would just record something, put it online. And the thing that happened was, well, one, they started going viral.
Why?
I guess it was something that was engaging. It was interesting to people, just on the fact of like, when you think of a Justin Bieber song, you don't picture it done by, like a jazz musician.
No, I do not.
So and the other thing is that we got tons of comments. People were talking about it. People were, it's YouTube, so you get some people that write crazy things, but you also get a lot of people that give you ideas and feedback and suggest other people that would be a great fit for the project. And I just kept all that stuff in mind, and it gradually built into this grassroots movement, which was really entirely driven by the fans in a way.
Well, what about the business side of this? I mean, where did you get the entrepreneurial, Scott, business sense to realize that you were onto something, and then, dare I use the term, monetize it?
It took a while. It took a second, and I think that anybody that gets starting a creative project, you have to be prepared to be in it for the long haul. Every project is a 7-year project. For all that stuff, I guess it might have come naturally to me in some ways. I like to just experiment. I like trying things. I like A/B testing things, as they say in the business world.
Right.
And that's what I did with this whole project. Everything that we were putting out, everything. And what I did was, I tried to base it on what the fans wanted to see and what they were interested in. And what it came down to is they really want to see real music and real talent. And that's something that sometimes gets kind of lost in the shuffle in today's music industry, which is mostly image-driven. So by putting together these concerts, bringing back the idea of a variety show, where I bring a whole bunch of different artists, a bunch of great singers.
Are they friends?
And amazing. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Everybody hangs out.
People are just all in your world.
It's actually people in my world, and I bring other people into that world. And somehow everybody manages to get along pretty good. So that's a rare thing. I mean, I'm not gonna lie and say that there's never any dust-ups on tour, but that's,
Describe
that's part
the tour.
of that. So we're gonna be touring around the world, and we've, we did, from the day that we started our first show, we played in Toronto.
Basement?
It was, we played a small rock club in Toronto, and then 2 years later, we were headlining Radio City Music Hall, which has been a wild ride, and it's gone further than I can even imagine. And we're gonna be touring around the world. My goal is to get this project around the world to every city so that people can experience real music and real talent, because I believe that these styles of music are just too good to ignore.
So let me ask you this. As what you're doing, this whole viral thing blows up, to what degree are you finding more and more musicians that want to be a part of this?
We're getting, we've got requests from so many artists, including some big artists. So I wouldn't be surprised seeing one of them drop by my living room. But I didn't even mention, I still record everything in my living room.
Well, what do you mean your living room? Describe what that looks like.
That's my studio. That's my studio. I think I want to create, like, if you go back in the day, when Berry Gordy was doing Motown Records, he was doing kind of a similar process where he was finding great talent, he was matching up with great material, he was putting together a band, and then they were all recording in one room. And that's the only way you can get that kind of intimacy, where all the musicians are kind of together in one thing. So we record everything in my living room just in one take. It's just, no auto-tune or anything like that. And so in a sense, like, everything that we do is live. And then when we go on tour, it just like comes to life even more so.
So here's what I'm curious about with guys like you. I don't know if there are any guys like you. Maybe it's just you. The passion, the talent, the commitment. Where's it come from?
I didn't see any other way. This was, as soon as I started doing this, I realized that this was something that was so important to me, and keeping these styles of music alive and identifying great talent. And as soon as I saw that there was an opportunity, you just have to go for it. So.
Do you ever count the hours you work, or it's what you do?
It never feels like work. I'm working around, it's 24/7.
Sorry for interrupting. I was going to ask you, is it 24/7?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's nonstop. When you have your own business, it's nonstop, and this is something that's
joined the club.
So, but it never feels like work to me. It's always exciting. It's always fresh. It's always something different, and that's what kind of keeps me motivated.
Jackie, what is it? Is the new CD?
Yeah, The Essentials.
Greatest hit? Yeah, come on. What do you got?
The Essentials. So The Essentials, we've recorded over about 200 songs. I've released, 13 albums with PostModern Jukebox. So a lot of people that, if they go down the PMJ rabbit hole, that's what we call it, they want to know what's the best CD to start with. So we created a greatest hits album, The Essentials, and that has all of our,
Give us a few.
our
Come on.
greatest hits so far. So we have some of our viral ones like Creep, all about that bass, We Can't Stop. And then we also have some just straight up fun ones, like we did Such Great Heights in style, the Jackson 5, I Believe in a Thing Called Love, New Orleans style. So it's a great starting point to kind of, and it makes a really great gift if you know somebody that loves vintage stuff or classic music, give it a try. They're gonna love it.
But it's all genres. Even though you grew up and loved jazz, R&B, classic, pop, rock. I mean, it's a whole across the board.
It's kind of like all the genres from when music existed on vinyl, So it has some of the swing. We didn't want to do it. It's not just like a period piece. It's not like we're only doing 1920s or anything. We're doing a whole mix of all these classic styles, but it's unified in a sense. Like when you hear it, it's like you know it when you hear it.
Unfair question. You got a favorite?
I got a favorite. No, I love all my children equally.
I knew you were going to do that. You went PC on me.
I totally did, didn't I?
Smart move. You're a good businessman. You're a great musician, great talent, and very smart business-wise. Can you mind if I plug?
Sure. Plug away.
Scott Bradlee, creator of PostModern Jukebox. Check it out. Great stuff. Appreciate you being here.
Yeah, definitely.
Come back anytime.
Yeah.
All the best.
A lot of fun.
All right. Stay loose. Right back right after this.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. Funding for this edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been provided by the New Jersey Education Association, Investors Bank, Holy Name Medical Center in Teaneck, New Jersey, Passaic County Community College, Josh S. Weston, New Jersey Sharing Network, and by the Give Something Back Foundation. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area. One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been produced in partnership with TriStar Studios.